The 5 phases of focus are formulate, organize, contrast, unify, and simplify. For formulate, its 3 principles are message, audience, and sketches. I chose message. For the good example, I used cream of wheat. Their message to their audience is simple, it's direct, it tells you what the product is. For a bad example, I used abuelita, which if you don't know what this product is, it's a Mexican hot chocolate. So for someone who would see this product for the first time, they wouldn't really know what it is. So its message isn't really clear. The next one, for organize, its 3 principles are shape, proximity, and alignment. I chose alignment. For a good example, I used the Progresso breadcrumbs. Everything is center lined on the product, which makes it easy to follow. It's a good flow. There's not too much information, so you're not over centering. You're not centering. They're not centering everything. For a bad example, I used the Raisin Bran. For this one, everything for the most part is center lined, except this little bit over here, which the audience might want to break off from reading all the information to read what that is rather than a nice flow right down the center. The next one is contrast. Its 3 principles are asymmetry, value, and color. For a good example, I used the Butter Supremes. They used really good contrasting colors, the white against the green. On the wheel, they used the Kodiak wheel, which is green, a yellow brownish, and like a purple. They didn't really use the purple here, but they did use 2 of the 3 colors. It's really good contrast to make their focal point stick out more, which is the product's name, Butter Supremes. For a bad example, I used the h.e.buddy grams. For this one, I felt like they used too many dark colors on top of each other. They have the factory machinery, which is like a dark gold, and then they have the actual graham crackers, which are also a dark brown, and then back here they have boxes that are brown. They just use a lot of dark colors on top of each other, which really throws off the audience when they look at that. It's just a lot of dark colors. They don't really know where to look. The next one is unify. Its 3 principles are repetition, rhythm, and gestalt. I chose repetition, the rule of odds. For a good example, I used the buttermilk complete. They used 3 pancakes and 5 berries. They kept it on an odd number, which helps the audience keep their attention on the product itself. For a bad example, I used the Kodiak cakes. This one doesn't really have anything repeated except the wheat grains here on the side, but that's really about it. It doesn't really have any other shapes repeated anywhere. And then for the last one, it's simplify, and its 3 principles are evaluation, elimination, and communication. I used elimination. For a good example, I used the Cheerios. They made a simple background. They made their focal point clear, and it goes straight to showing what their product looks like. It's not too cluttered. They don't have too many things going on around the focal point to pull the person's direction away from the natural flow of things. For a bad example, I use these Honey Nut O's. Their background is really busy. They have the cereal in lines, and then they have the gold or the honey lines, and then they have the bees going around. I feel like this really takes some time for the audience to focus where they want it, which is right there in the middle, even though they have a lot of negative or white space there to grab the audience's attention. I still feel like everything around it is just really busy, and they could have probably pulled from that.